We are still waiting on people filtering in. I will probably go. I'm going to go ahead and bring Lars. What I'm going to do real quickly is my camera working or not? I'm going to. We're going to start off by hearing from the candidates. We're going to give a little bit of a presentation on themselves. I was going to allow up to 4 minutes for each candidate. Lars is. I'm going to invite him up to speak right now. Lars is trying to catch a plane right now. And just so you know, we will be recording this and letting giving a link to all of our members who can't be here today. Let them watch everything. But I will go ahead and hand it off to Lars. If you want to go ahead and get started, I know you have a flight to catch, so you got 4 minutes.
Awesome. Can you hear me?
I can.
Perfect. Okay, great. Well, thank you so much for having me. I am in Nebraska, where I've been doing radio ads and meeting with campaign staff and trying to get all set up here so that when I win the general, I can hit the ground running to cause the contingent election that I'm trying to do. And I'm literally on a plane to Maine, which is the second state that we're setting all that up in. So look, I'm trying to do something different than everyone else's, and that is to cause a contingent election on election night and to get the Libertarian Party national media attention. And that national media attention has already started. A few weeks back, I went on the Smirconish show on Sirius XM and was talking about my plan to stop 270 to deny both Trump and Biden the 270 electoral votes needed to win, and send the election to the House of Representatives, where they would choose who would be the next president of the United States. A couple days after that, Donald Trump called the governor of Nebraska and told him that he wanted to get rid of the winner, the split electoral vote, which is the mechanism that I'm trying to use to win this contingent election. They had a vote on the House floor. Fortunately for us, that did not pass, and Donald Trump was quite irritated about that. The next morning on CNN, Andrew Yang was on with Aaron Burnett, and they were talking about how this election could come down to 269 votes to 269 votes, and that one or two electoral votes could cause this contingent election. Robert Kennedy is also now talking about contingent election. It's starting to pick up steam in the mainstream media. I feel like we're on the right path. We just kind of keep beating the drum, and we're going to get national media attention where people are concerned that the Libertarian Party is going to really kind of be the spoiler in this rotten election. I posted something after Donald Trump announced that he was going to be at our convention, showing that he was talking a few years back about how we were the ones that caused the last election to be spoiled for him, and so that he is very focused on us, right? And to that end, he was basically passing around my polling to his big donor base, to his super PACs, through Larry Ellison. And then he also was putting on his Truth Social some of the polling that I've been in, which I have been in 14 national polls. Wall Street Journal, CNN, Fox News, all those people have been picking up all that stuff. And so I am, I'm a businessman. I grew up really poor. I sold my company for $500 million. I've put my heart and soul into this campaign for the last 3 years. I put $700,000 of my own money. I'm committing another $1 million of my own money to this campaign should I win the nomination. And I believe that money is going to be a deciding factor this election. You can't get your message out if you have no money. You can't buy radio ads. You can't buy social media, which I'm an expert at. I've been running ads on Twitter for the last year, 50 million ads delivered so far, trying to get our message liberty out. And I'm going to continue that in a much bolder way once the general election goes. I have put together an incredible staff. I'm a serial entrepreneur, so I know how to put teams together. I know how to build businesses and be successful. So I got up Larry Sharp, and I got Tyler Harris, and I got TJ Ferreira and Chris Minnelletti, and the list goes on and on. I had a huge policy team. Michael White out down in Arkansas was on my policy team. He's an excellent up and comer for the libertarian movement, and I'm backing his campaign down there. He has a real chance at winning his campaign down there. He's only going against one crappy Democrat, and there's no Republican running, so that's really good, right? So I think that this is an achievable goal. We only have to get 250,000 votes in Maine or Nebraska, but look, I'm running the same national campaign that everyone else is running, and I'm doing this. So it's not instead of, I want to make that very clear because a lot of people are like, Lars, you're only focused on these two states. And the thing is I can literally do both. I can do everything that all the other candidates are doing, plus I can run this two-state thing to cause this contingent election. So I believe this is achievable. I hope that you guys will get behind me to do it. I believe that I am a principled libertarian. You can look at the 37 pieces of policy that I've put out. We have white papers. I'm extremely proud of the Voters' Bill of Rights, which aims to level the playing field. I worked hard in Maine. I put $25,000 in there, worked with Bill Redpath and Richard Winger and the party of Maine to get major party status for Maine. And we were able to achieve that, which I didn't know that was going to be possible, but I was super pleased with that. So, I'm backing candidates all over the country. I believe that the president's main job is to help with fundraising for the party, get our message out there, and to lay groundwork for the candidates around the country in order for them to win. I believe that the local level is where we're going to affect change for the Libertarian Party. And so that's, what I'm really pushing for. And so, yeah, I hope that you guys will give me your endorsement. And I look forward to seeing you all in Washington, D.C.
Thank you very much, Lars. I know you've got a plane to catch, so I will let you go. Safe travels and have fun jetting all over the place.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Yeah. What I'm going to do is, give me a second here. How do I don't know which option to select here. Moving on. So what I'm going to do now is a quick overview. So I wanted to get Lars in first because I know he's about to jump on a plane. A quick overview of how the CLC does our endorsements. What we do is our board votes on whether or not to endorse a candidate, and then we send that on to our membership, at least for the presidential race. We send that on to our membership for them to ratify or to not ratify that endorsement. So let's see. We've got Mike Termont, Chase Oliver, and Charles Ballet, and I've got a random generator. I'm just going to click to spin it, and then whoever comes up here, we'll let him on. Oh, it's landing on Chase. I will invite Chase. Right, there you are. And we will invite to speak. There it is. You should be there, Chase. And by the way, I'll give everyone 5 minutes since we went about to 5 minutes with that one. So, Chase, take it away.
Hey, there we go. Now y'all can hear me. Thank you guys for having me on here. My name is Chase Oliver. I do want to be the Libertarian candidate for president in 2024. And I do believe we have a golden opportunity in this race if we embrace a powerful aspirational message of liberty. And that's the exact kind of campaign I've been running across the country for about a year and a half now. If you've seen me, it's probably because I've been in your state. I have traveled to all 50 states as a candidate. I'm the first libertarian to ever do that, running for president. And I think it's because we need to show the energy and enthusiasm our party needs to have to break through the two-party attic of Trump versus Biden 2.0. And there could be no greater contrast to the old broken two-party system than a young, energetic face for liberty. Somebody who can get out there and bring the message. It's powerful and positive, and it's going to build our party. I have a lot of objectives of this campaign. One is to absolutely support our elected libertarians or libertarians running across the country by showing a professional campaign, one that is rooted in empathy and common respect and common grace for people, regardless of where they come from in their lives. One that is welcoming in nature and that can bring new people into the tent without shunning people away. That's the kind of message I want to bring. I liken it to a religious revival, bringing people into the tent, letting them hear the good news and letting them spread that message organically through their communities. Whatever their libertarian issue is, I want them to come into this party the way I came into this party. I was an anti-war activist, and because I didn't know about the libertarians, I became a Democrat. And I even supported Barack Obama to be elected in 2008 because he made a lot of anti-war promises like and closing Gitmo and actually talking to our enemies without precondition. And he lied about all of those things, and it shoved me right out of the two-party system and right into the hands of a welcoming Libertarian Party of Georgia and a guy named John Mons who brought me into the party. It's that kind of energy and welcoming nature that I think we can bring millions of people into this race. In particular, I want to target Gen Z and millennials because generationally, they are classically liberal in their values. They are allowed to tolerate other people. They want to live their own lives. They want to have their own choices. They don't like being stuck into a box of one or the other. And with that kind of concepts, I think we can break through and embrace this next generation of libertarians. 41 million Gen Z voters will be election, and in 15 years they will be the largest voting bloc in this country. If we're not reaching out to them directly right now in this election, when they are being provided two terrible, old, stale choices from the two-party system, we are losing a golden opportunity. My campaign is one that has been focused on pushing this outward in every state where I go to, not just in libertarian meetings. We've held independent meet and greets meetings. I've spoken to city council people in El Paso, Texas. I see Ryan Woodcraft there, who's running in El Paso. Happy to endorse him and dozens of other candidates across the country, including a few who got elected in 2023. And we're going to continue to push for those candidates. We're going to grow party membership. We're going to grow ballot access. And we are going to run a powerful, positive campaign rooted in the libertarian value that if you are not harming someone else, if you're not committing force, fraud, coercion, theft, or violence, your life is your life, your body is your body, your business is your business, and your property is your property. I encourage each and every member of the caucus to check out my website, see our professional branding, see our professional messaging, see our professional ads that have gone out and push the libertarian message hard. And that's exactly what I'm going to do as I continue to push all the way through November and beyond. I will not be done if I'm our candidate in 2024, I want to at least double our party membership, and I'm committed as a candidate to remaining deeply invested in this party and making sure that we utilize that growth over the next 4 years to even grow larger. Our candidate in 2028 has more activists, more donors, and more network. And my metrics speak for itself. Our campaign has traveled the most miles. We have earned the most donations from across the country, 50 states plus DC and Puerto Rico. We have over 500 volunteers. We have a professional staff that is putting out great quality content in terms of press releases, graphics, media, all of these things. We are firing on all cylinders, and we have been for months now. We are ready on day one to seize this golden opportunity to push the libertarian message and be a contrast to Donald Trump and Joe Biden. And I want you to know I will be right there on the floor at the convention, ready to provide that in real-time contrast to Donald Trump if he should show up at our convention. We will give him the reception he absolutely deserves. If anybody else came on our stage that locked down our country, if anybody else came on our stage that refused to pardon Edward Snowden, Julian Assange, and Ross Ulbricht when they had the opportunity, if anybody else came on that stage with a record of debt and deficit and death and destruction that Donald Trump has come for, they would get the exact same reception. So I'm going to be right there alongside the Libertarian Party to put the libertarian message out there loud and clear in 2024. I encourage you to join me. Join the movement at votechaseoliver.com. And again, I thank you, caucus members, for providing me the opportunity. I look forward to hoping to earn support across the spectrum, and classical liberals are no different. Well, I encourage you to vote for me, and I'll see you in DC.
All right. Thank you very much, Chase. Appreciate that. And congratulations on 50 states. That is quite an accomplishment. Man, I'm having trouble figuring out what to click here. All right. Perfect. Now we've got Mike Tomato, Charles Ballet. I'm going to spin the little wheel thing here, and we have got Mr. Ballet. Let's see here. Where are you? Right there. You should have an invite here to speak. There you go. Yeah, you've got 5 minutes. You can take it away.
Okay, let me hit allow, and now you should see me. Okay.
I see you loud and there you go.
Thank you all. Thank you all very much for having me on. I appreciate this. I enjoy this opportunity. So I'll tell you who I am, because I'm kind of the unknown in this race, so to speak, as other persons have been campaigning for a bit longer than myself. I am from New Orleans. I'm in New Orleans today. I'm from South Louisiana, probably about 80 miles south of New Orleans. I grew up in a very poor family. But they believed in education and libertarian values, that we didn't receive any government handouts. We needed to work our asses off to do well in life. And so I was afforded a good education. I went on to medical school, and I've been a head and neck surgeon now for about 20 years. And I think that's what I can bring to this party and to this discourse. I think that I have busted my ass throughout my life to work extremely hard, and I have the record to prove it. I have, countless patients that will attest that when it comes down to effort and it comes down to results, I can achieve it absolutely 100%. I've gotten into this race because over the course of my career, I've continually seen persons that are disgruntled in a two-party system that is just not working, and it's getting worse and worse and worse. The middle class is shrinking. There's a growing poor class, and the persons who are super wealthy continue to excel, and it's just not fair. And so finally I said, you know what, I'm gonna throw my name into this race because I give a shit about people, and I plan to do exceedingly well in this race. I have a great team, and I will preface this by most of my teams are not part of the libertarian movement. I have persons that advise me economically, that run vast businesses in portions of this world. I have teams out of Kentucky, out of Florida, a number. Good job at this. I see a country where we, as libertarians, have a just a brilliant, bright future. I think we are the North Star. We have two parties that have intertwined. They have become one. It's sort of like a Louisiana family with a vine growing together. They have, and this can be proven now. Look at our current speaker, who may soon to be not no longer a speaker. The two parties have become one party, and they've been this way for a bit of time. But now I think the public, with social media and with news, etc., people are beginning to realize this, and they're looking for alternative solutions. And I think the libertarian message of going backwards to the Bill of Rights and to focusing on simplicity of government, where the government is a referee, it's not all controlling and omnipotent in our lives. This is what needs to be brought back to the United States. So I plan to do so. Hopefully, I can achieve your endorsement. I'm working my tail off. I'll be in Nebraska next week. We've been on numerous social media podcasts. We've been around the country, participating in many of the debates that we've been allowed to attend. We'll be in DC, obviously, in the near future. And as soon as if we receive the nomination, then we plan to work our ass off through November the 5th and hopefully win this damn thing. If not, achieve incredible results and make this party definitely something that's on the ballot across 50 states here on and after, right? There's no reason why the Libertarian Party needs to achieve 1%, 2%, 3.2 or 3.3%. There is absolutely zero reason. I think what I bring to this table that many do not is my compassion and my education. I think when people look at me and they look at a head and neck surgeon and they've seen what I've done throughout my career, they realize that I am not simply giving this lip service. I can actually prove, and I can walk my walk, and I can talk my talk, because I've done this my entire life in order to achieve the results that I've achieved. I think we do have a wonderful slate of candidates. Chase is a great guy. You're going to have Mike in a second. He's great. Lars, we've spent a lot of time with him. He's fantastic. I think you guys are going to have a really tough time deciding on who it is that you wish to represent this party, because you do have a wonderful slate of candidates. The question I would ask is, who is going to perform and who is going to actually do what it is that they say that they can do and can achieve the results and not simply pay lip service. So thank you very, very much. Yes, sir. Yes.
I haven't. Oh, there we go. I haven't heard you yet, so it looks like we're about to see you. There we go.
I think so. It looks like my camera has decided to take a moment to
There we
adjust the
go.
lighting. It's still not very strong, but maybe it'll come on in a moment. Jonathan, how are you guys doing?
I'm doing well. Take it away.
Thanks. I appreciate you all giving me a few minutes to speak with you today. The reason I'm in this is not just because we have a huge opportunity in 2024. I think we're all on the same page there. The reason I'm in this is because, to my mind, this is a huge obligation for us and a huge obligation to get this right. I think we all understand why it's an obligation for us. As you have heard me say 100 times, if you're waiting for a Republican politician or if you're waiting for a Democratic politician to lead the charge back toward fill in the blank, a constitution of delimited powers, fiscal conservatism, a true sense of social liberalism, a more rational monetary policy, a anti-war message that I think that America is ready for. If you're waiting for that to come from one of the other party's politicians, you're waiting for something that's not going to happen. The truth of the matter is that the federal government of the United States is going to find a financial collapse before the middle of this century. If that happens in a disorderly way, it will lead us into a deep depression worldwide. It'll collapse the bond market, the dollar market, and the only thing standing between that happening and today is this party. This party has to play a major role in American politics, or, in my view, it is unlikely we will be able to stop the type of disaster that is on the rails and coming for us already. It's merely a race between whether there'll be a financial collapse or World War III first. That's the truth of the matter. That's how serious this is. No pressure, folks, But that's how serious this is. My campaign is set up to actually disrupt the duopoly of the Republican and Democratic parties, to actually leave the political landscape in this country different than the way we found it. If we leave it unchanged, I will owe you a huge apology. We are not set up to lose. This is not a campaign that's going to hold up its hand and say, we can't win. In my view, that would be a colossal strategic error. The reason that we have conducted this campaign the way we have is because we expect not only to secure the nomination, but actually play a role competitively. We are running on a bold platform, we call the Gold New Deal. The reason it has its own branding is that it is our commitment not to back up on it. We are going to be running on principle all the way through because we believe it is the right strategy for gaining attention to completely differentiate from the other parties. We believe it is also the right thing to do to brand this party. We also build our credibility and take care of our credibility at every turn. We leaned into my background in public service and public policy. As you know, I was a professional economist for more than 2 decades. I spent a couple of years with the White House as an economist. I had my own business in strategic consulting and executive education. And I was a professional advocate in Washington for more than a decade for free markets and for greater competition in a deregulated environment. You know that I've taught economics at 3 different universities. You also know that the reason I spend so much time talking about profoundly changing the way that we manage police agency, and officers, and the reason I spend so much time talking about ending things like qualified immunity and the war on drugs is because I was a cop for 11 and a half years, until just a couple of years ago, from the age of 49 to 60. We are set up professionally for success. The reason we've already payrolled 20 different professionals, the reason our leader is Jim Turney, a former chairman of the Libertarian National Committee, is because we are set up for success. We are not running on gimmicks. That is exactly what this idea is of running in 2 different places, trying to get a couple of electoral votes. There is approximately 0 probability that that will make a difference in the Electoral College count. We are running a national campaign because you cannot have 2 masters when it comes to strategy. We are running with credibility to actually compete. We are not going to say we're focused on one area or another. We're not focused on merely youth. We're not focused on merely supporting down ballot candidates. If you want to support down ballot candidates, you run a campaign that is based on principle to brand the party. Those of us who have run for local races know that the value of the Libertarian Party is approximately 0. This is why we need a national campaign that is based on principle and that actually competes. We're set up to cross that threshold of credibility, and I plan to do so. Thanks a lot for your time.
For joining us. I appreciate you taking the time, and it was kind of last minute, everybody jumping in, so I really appreciate everyone kind of coming in. Thank you, Mike.